Good morning. It is another beautiful foggy morning here on the homestead. I don't know if you guys like foggy mornings or not, but we sure do. It looks beautiful this morning. Good morning, ladies. You like your fresh grass? Enjoy. That sun is bright. We're gonna be making some solar right now, man. Look at that. What a beautiful sunrise this morning. Oh, so beautiful. Good morning, pigs. You need some more grain? I got a bag for you. Getting low? I'll fill you up. Don't worry. You're getting big. You're getting big. In less than 2 weeks, they have a date at the butcher. I really want to do it ourselves this year again, but we have so much going on. That's one thing we're going to take off our plate is harvesting the pigs. We'll send them out and then we'll get it back. I think I'm going to keep the pork bellies, just pork bellies, and we're going to smoke the bacon and cure the bacon ourselves. The hams, I think we'll get those sent out. I don't have the smoker set up here yet. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm sorry. And then next year, I think we're going to start harvesting the pigs again on our own. We'll have the workshop done, we'll have the barn done, and we'll have more time to be doing that kind of stuff. So right now, I'm just trying to think, what are some things I can take off of our plate so we can make sure we can get everything done. I'm trying to get a lot of this all finished up before winter comes. And up here in the north, we're not usually getting snow, but we can get snow anytime now. It's not looking that way this year, but you just never know. We are getting close and ready to get the concrete here, but we still have a little bit more work we need to do. I need to get rid of this gravel pile. I shouldn't say get rid of it, but I need to move it. Figaro is coming down to keep an eye on us. Where are you, Figaro? There you are. Spread that out, backfill the rest of the forms. We have our cups on order. I think they'll be getting dropped off today to raise up all of our rebar. We want to keep the rebar 2 inches off the bottom and keep it suspended in the middle of the concrete, so that way it'll give the concrete as much strength as we can. And then it's been beautiful out. I'm hoping that the weather stays like this, so for concrete pouring day, we have some good weather.
I gotta tell you that my legs are feeling doing the rebar tying.
Yeah, I can definitely feel it in my legs. Felt like I've been doing squats for a whole day, tying all that rebar, the up and down, moving back and forth. So it's definitely a good workout doing rebar and tying it. I'm glad that part is done. gonna have a little bit left over that we need to spread out a little bit. So I'm trying to think of the best use of it for now. I'm thinking if we put it on this end, this will be the main end we can drive into from the beginning, and then we'll need more on the back side. But what I'm thinking is if we have leftover concrete, if I order too much, I'm gonna have them dump the waste on that side. And then when it starts to harden, after it's almost hardened, I'll break it up with the excavator and make our own kind of like reprocessed concrete. And that'll be for that base. And then we can bring in some more gravel and put that on top of it. Because if I have them spread out the extra concrete, if there is any over here, it's not that deep. But over there, we have a lot more of an area that needs to get filled.
Well, because you have a plan, you won't have any extra, you know.
I know, but if I don't have a plan, I'll have a bunch extra. So like last time we had some extra and I didn't have a plan for it. I don't even think we had like a quarter of a yard left, so it was barely any. I just had them take it back. But if we have any left over, I'm just gonna have them spread it over there, because if you look down, it drops off pretty decent after the foundation before it humps back up. There's a low spot. So I'll just have them loosely pour the concrete. I'm not gonna put any forms or anything over there. I'll just let them spread it. And what it does, it does. Figaro's so funny. When that tractor's running, he takes off. As soon as it shuts off, he's running back down here.
I was wondering where you went, mister. I was looking for you.
He's smart. He stays away from the running equipment.
Unless he's sitting in it. Maybe he's not a barn cat. He's a construction cat.
He's the foreman. The overseer. Oh, I just got shocked. Static electricity. All right, let's get that raked out a little bit, and then we can finish up grading it off and getting it packed down and get it ready so the concrete trucks can come and get all the way around all four sides. I'm hoping the rain holds off, because if it does, we should be able to get the concrete trucks to drive on this side for sure. Well, I know the concrete trucks can drive on three sides. If we don't get any rain, we should be able to drive back on that side, and that'll make the pour go a lot easier. And if I have them drive over there, I'll have them do it when their trucks are like half empty. I'll have them start like on that back side and then come over here when they're half empty, and then pour what they can't reach from the corners, kind of thing. I think that'll work the best.
Here he comes. The tractor shut off.
Yep, coming back over. I stopped the tractor for 1 second earlier to talk to you.
Yeah.
He ran out of the workshop, came over, I started it back up, and he just ran.
Yeah.
He's a hoot.
Really?
It's hard because you want to get everything nice, but you know once the concrete trucks come in, they're going to rut everything up, and then you got to dig everything off to get your forms off. So you want to get it nice, and when you're working, you have a flat area to work, but then again, you know you got to go back around and do it again afterwards.
So don't get too fussy.
Right, but you got to get somewhat fussy. You don't want to be tripping while you're working either.
Right.
think that'll be good. Compact this area, maybe that side too, not too close to the forms because we got to dig away from the forms after. But make it so it's compacted where all the concrete trucks are going to be driving. And it'll be easier for us to walk on too. All right, hopefully it starts easy today. We got gasoline. Make sure we turn it on first. On, choke. This is one of those jobs that is pretty tedious, but it is totally worth it to spend the extra time compacting because it packs it down nicely, especially when it comes to rain. When the rain will hit that, if it's not compacted, it'll just soak in and it'll get muddy. If the rain came right now, with that being compacted, the rain's just gonna shed off of it and it's still gonna be packed nicely. I'm just always amazed with how big of a difference it makes. So let's get this area done. All right, so we're gonna install, I believe what it's called, a UFER, U-F-E-R ground. Basically you're grounding out, you're putting your ground wire on your rebar. The rebar is gonna be at least 20 feet long, which all of our rebar is interconnected. It has to be at least 20 feet long, and if it's connected to other rebar, to include the 20 feet, if it's connected with these metal ties, you're good. We have 20-foot long sections anyways, but all of our rebar is tied together with those metal clips. So this whole pad will be one big giant ground. You also need to have it so your rebar is 2 inches off of the ground and covered in 2 inches of concrete. So you want concrete all the way around your rebar, and you need the concrete touching the ground. You can't have plastic in between it because this will make one big giant ground. If you had plastic there, you wouldn't be touching the ground, so you wouldn't have a ground. So we're going to...
So if you have the plastic cups, is it still going to be...
Yeah, because it's all encased in concrete. The plastic cups isn't covering the whole ground. It's only here and there to keep it so that the rebar is suspended in the concrete. Because the rebar has to be, I forget how it's worded, but basically they want 2 inches, you need at least 2 inches on the bottom and 2 inches on the top of the rebar of concrete. So having your cups is going to suspend it. So like if you just had your rebar sitting here, it wouldn't work. That has to be suspended in the concrete. So I'm going to run it right over here. I'm going to run it up over, and then I'm going to stick it up out of the ground in this corner right near a post. So that way when we're going to run conduit, so we can get power from the off-grid workshop, we'll run it up from that corner, we'll dig a trench, and we'll come right up and out, and then we'll have the service box probably right in this area, so we'll be able to have our ground right there. Oh, kind of in the middle here. So then we'll just have to work around it. We can just bend it all, and it doesn't matter if it gets covered in concrete, and then we can kind of...
As long as it doesn't get stuck so you can't...
Right. We'll just keep it up, and then we'll just have to move it around when we need to. Well, we got our special delivery from Lowe's. Luckily, they showed up on time. So riddle me this.
Riddle you this.
Same exact product you can go buy in the store on the shelf this is how they would get it, is 100 in a box. If we order it, I can get them half price as if I go to the store and buy them off the shelf.
Well, they don't have to handle it.
Yeah, they gotta mail them to me. It was free shipping.
Oh.
I didn't pay for shipping, and I got them half price.
Whatever.
So we ordered them, and we got them for half price. Okay, we just had to wait a few days. So these are rebar chairs, and they'll hold the rebar up off the ground. Whoops, either 2 inches or 2.5 inches, depending on how you want it.
So which one are we doing?
Whatever works. We can do 2.5, we can do 2.
But we should all do the same.
That don't really matter because the ground's not perfectly level.
Okay.
So it don't, but we're going average 7 inches of concrete in the center. So no matter what, the 2.5 would probably be better, but if they're not sitting good, we'll go 2.
Okay.
So we have 200 of them. I don't know if we need 200, but basically if I went to the store and bought 100, that's the price I just paid. So if we use 150, I'm sure we'll be pouring concrete again and we'll just save the rest.
Well, what are you going to build next time?
Oh, we always have projects in the head to build. So these things are nice because they're easy. They're spacious, so the concrete can get in here and they get encased in concrete. And it makes it so your concrete is all, your rebar is all the same level. I don't know if there's a certain spacing you're supposed to do. What we do is we'll put a bunch down, and then we look around, and if we see if the rebar is touching anywhere, if it's bowing down, then we'll go back and we'll place it in those areas. So right now I think I'm going like, yeah, every other on this edge, and it seems to be holding up really good.
This part might actually be easier than having the crete heat because you don't, if we have all these different intersections and the crete heat's not there.
I didn't even think of that, you're right.
Yeah, you don't have to stay on that little knob. It makes it easier if you're in a nice pattern, but this has got a lot of long pieces and joints and stuff, so this actually might be easier doing it this way.
It will be. The crete heat is the foam board that we've been putting down when we're doing radiant heat, and it's like a Lego board. It's got nubs in it, so if you're trying to put your rebar in one of these and your rebar doesn't line up with the nub, so this doesn't fit over the nub, it's off and it's at an angle and it trips it over. So this will be a lot smoother. I didn't even think of that. So every other's been working out really good. How's it look there, Figaro? A good spot to roll?
I think he approves.
I think so. That's his stamp of approval. Oh, you see some spots that we missed, Figaro? You're walking around pretty intently checking it all over. So we've been having a lot of people asking us about your barn cats lately, Gina. They keep seeing Figaro in the video, but not the barn cats. So Arlo and Jax, they're indoor cats now.
Well, no, they're not indoor cats.
They're outdoor cats, but they're indoors a lot. They like to go out. So I get up first thing in the morning at like 3:30 in the morning. The cats like to go out at that time. They stay inside all night. They'll go out at 3:30 in the morning until like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then they come in, and then they nap. So they're in the house napping right now. Figaro likes coming out while we're working and keeping an eye on us. All right, good thing I got the second box. We got to break into it.
Not many though.
Nope. That means we can have them for our next project. I guess I need a little bit of stone right there. I'll have to get a couple of shovel loads. All right, I'm liking the way that looks. The rebar is suspended nicely. Figaro went through and walked, and I'm pretty sure he did a grid pattern over all of it and he approved it. The only thing I need to do is I need to lop off this piece of rebar it's touching, so if I cut it back there, it will be good. That's the only place the rebar is hitting the form. So having to fix up that little area is not a big deal. And then I need to put some stone right there. So I want to do that stuff before we forget. There we go. Now it's cut. Perfect.
Better.
I like it. So that was the only part that was held up anywhere. You want to inspect this hole for me, and what are your thoughts?
I don't think he likes it.
I think he doesn't approve. You're a little dusty there, dude.
I thought you were a black and white cat, not a gray and white.
All right, just going around, picking up everything. I got all of our extra form boards picked up. I want to go around and get our pallet forks moved, so that way when the concrete trucks come in here, they can get a good, clean shot. Want to keep the bucket on the tractor just in case we need to move any material around. We have that. And I'll keep it out of the way, but keep it easily accessible. Since we have this all done and we are ready for concrete, they're not going to be here today. I kind of like to plan it that way. I don't want to have to make sure I got to get anything finalized the day the concrete's going to be here. I just find that very stressful. So we're done here. Let's go take a ride out in the woods and see what all the foliage looks like out there.
That'll be fun.
I wonder if we'll see any grouse. I've been hearing the grouse mating calls, but I haven't seen any. Today'd be a good day to find them.
I haven't heard anything.
I have, a little bit. You probably can't see them, but we got some turkeys crossing the road up there.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah. Oops.
Gotta go to the right.
Still in
Go
reverse.
drive. Look at them trees.
Right. So pretty. There's the tent waiting for us for some winter camping. We just need the weather to cool off and for some snow.
Tree down.
Yep. I brought the chainsaw. I figured this would happen. Build a rabbit a little house. Got tangled in there pretty good. So we've been rebuilding these trails last year and we seeded them all. We really haven't been out on them this year because we've had so much rain. We haven't wanted to rut them up, so I'm really impressed with how they're looking. The grass is growing in, it's getting thick, but it should make good food for all the wildlife this winter.
I'll stack it so we'll have it for camping.
I'm thinking we'll bring it back and we'll burn it in the outdoor boiler.
Okay.
That's why I'm cutting it that length.
Okay.
They can go right in the boiler. It's some nice ash wood. Probably maybe a day's worth of heat right there. Or at least half a day's worth of heat.
Couple showers.
Right? One way to evaluate it. All right, let's see how far we can keep going. All right, I just saw something really, really encouraging. You're gonna wanna see this.
Is it an antler?
No.
Oh.
Did you see it yet?
This?
Yep. That's gonna be a good sized buck.
Oh, you think it's a buck?
Did that scraping. Oh yeah, that's a buck. Wow. Or a moose, but I really think a buck. So it comes from below my hip up to almost my head mark with the scrapes. So it's either a moose or a deer. But I feel like just where it's such a thinner mash tree, that's most likely a deer.
Right, because a moose would knock that right down.
Right. I mean, he got that good,
right.
Pretty high, so he's tall. So from here to here, he's going like this to way up. So that's a good size deer.
Let's see that again.
This to this. So that's a nice deer. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a ton of deer tracks right there.
Oh, yeah.
I think we need to put a camera out here.
Yeah, we do.
And then I seen some stuff up here. I can see their trail. So we have some cutty back game cameras that are cellular and that'll text us pictures. I'm gonna have to put one up here, but I'm seeing a ton of track in these sandbar. I think these are all moose tracks out here in the sandbar, but that was definitely deer track up there. All right, let's head on down the trail that way and see what else we can find. Perfect.
Watch your eyes. I'm excited to go tenting once the animals hibernate.
You don't want to be out there with the bears?
No.
So when we planted all of the trails, we planted them with a good clover and pasture mix, so that way they can be feed also. Just listen to that water. It sounds so amazing. That wood's way too rotted to burn. I love the sound of falling leaves. Reminds me of a kid and jumping in leaf piles. Big, old, honking moose. Look at that. So much wildlife out here. Love it. Big tracks that way too.